I missed y'all. I missed y'all. Let me share my link and then we gonna get started. Loose as a goose, don't get me started. All right. Okay. All right. Hey, Trey. Thank you. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Cameron. You're watching Cameron Music TV, and I am back with another review. I'm here to talk about Insecure, honey. Insecure is back. Insecure is back. Yes. And Trey is right. Yesterday was my birthday, which is the day that the season premiere came on. So I knew I was probably not going to get to the review just because, ooh, what is going on with these brows? What is happening with these brows? Just because I had my best friend flew in and then my really, really close friend too. I mean, you can call them both my best friends, but they both flew in and I knew like, yeah, they're gonna be flying out. And there was a whole lot of drama with the airport. So um I was not able to watch the show or anything like that because I was just hanging, because it was my actual birthday. But I was able to catch the show tonight and I'm excited to talk about it. What else? Oh, my shirt. I want to shout out to Mika. She made me this shirt for my birthday. I did turn 32. It's hard to believe because I don't feel 32. I feel like I've had like 9 lives, 9 different lives, but I still don't feel 32. But I'm super thankful for my birthday this year. I got to figure out how to post some pictures on here from my birthday. This is one I took. Look at it. Look at it. That's one I took. I had like a melanin magic moment for my birthday. It was like melanin themed. So everybody wore shades of brown for my game night, and then everyone wore shades of brown for my brunch the next day. Um, so yeah, that was me for my birthday. Super cool. But yeah, no, I cannot believe it's the final last season. I cannot believe it. I was very, very excited to see everyone back. It just felt like a family reunion. Like, oh my gosh, Tiffany's back, and Derek and Lawrence. Issa's back, Molly's back, Kelly's back. So let's get into the show. The show still is short. It's not super long episodes. Everyone is looks good, well dressed. Okay. I've heard about the drama with Tiffany and the AKAs, and listen, them politics with them sororities, it is what deflects people from joining. That's all that I'm gonna say. Like, it is not that deep. If anything, you should be happy that the doggone thing was on there. And they didn't even show all of it. She just had on the colors, and you saw the A, and okay, it was implied. Anyway, okay. So everyone is headed back to Stanford for their 10-year college reunion. What shocked me was I don't think I knew that they all went to Stanford. I think I was hoping and praying that they had went to a HBCU. And then I was kind of wondering why Lawrence wasn't there. But okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyway, they all are flying in, driving in to San Francisco. I think it was San Francisco to Stanford. And I want to say it's been 2 months because Kelly's checking Molly's Instagram as they driving in, and Molly's posting, the quotes that you post when you're in your feelings and half of your eye. You try to get poetic. You try to get poetic when you're going through stuff because you try for people not to really fully understand like that you hurt for real, but you also want people to know like you learned from this and like you all of a sudden real deep. So she's posting that and they're kind of just breaking that down. We kind of want to see what's happening between Molly and Issa, because remember when we left last season, they was about to square up at the block party. Okay. And I'm just trying to see, like, has there been any apologies? So that's what I'm thinking at the beginning of the episode. Like, I need some apologies to have happened. We can't be sweeping up under the rug. Like, I need some things to go on before we just get back cool, right? They pull up to, like the check-in, the sign-in table, and Molly and Issa have on the same hoodie, which is the school hoodie. So I don't think it was that much of a coincidence. But anyway, um, and they're still awkward. So I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? Like, what I need some background. I need to know. Like, has it only been 2 months that have passed? I'm thinking so. Like, I'm trying to get the sense of time. But they're also kind of saying things throughout the episode about like the world and how it's different, and like, certain things are closed, but I don't see nobody with no mask on. Like, yeah, I'm trying to get the sense of time, right? And so while they're there checking in, they're looking through some kind of book, and Kelly's been killed off. Like, at first it's like a joke because she kind of has this dark humor. She's able to laugh at herself, but throughout the episode, like, I'm kind of watching her because she's no longer like trying to be the brunt of the joke. She's no longer trying to have the punchline all the time. Like, she wants them to take her a little bit more serious. And Kelly's always been like a deeper character, but they never truly like fully explore her. She always has the good advice. She is super funny. She was down for Tiffany and all that time. She blew up on Tiffany at that time and they fell out as best friends. Now they're back cool. Like, she has a lot of different layers that we don't get to explore because she is like one of the side characters. But this show would not be this show. This show would not be this show if hold on, y'all. Sorry. Okay, this show would not be this show if it weren't for Kelly. Like, her whole flair, her whole thing, like, it adds the flavor to the show. Okay, so yeah, they didn't kill her off. They got her in the book. Like, Issa done gave all these words for her and all this stuff, right? So Issa D is gonna be speaking on this panel because she is an entrepreneur. She pulled off this huge block party. She booked artists, she had vendors, all these things. So in that class, she is somebody who is doing something essentially with, her college degree, something impressive and something that is very hot right now. Entrepreneurship is very hot right now. And so, she's kind of nervous about speaking. She's kind of nervous about speaking, but she's still like, gonna do it or whatever. So they go to, y'all, I might have to hop out live. Let me see. How did they? Lordy, lordy, lordy. She okay. Okay. We gonna finish this video. Oh, glory be, glory be, glory be. Okay. All right, so they pull up to like this, maybe it's like just like a mixer for, the all the people from the reunion, or maybe it's the actual like reunion night. I don't know. But it's this girl Cheyenne. She dropping it, shaking, twerking it. And I'm like, I mean, I guess everyone has that girl, but even like her certain disposition, she ain't paid to get in. I'm just like, clearly she's not on the same level as y'all, like maturity wise. So I don't know if I would then go out with her. I don't know. I don't know, because what she did later on was foul. It was so foul. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know, old friends. I don't know if I would have did it. You know, you think you can trust her because y'all do outnumber her, but then it's also like, mm-mm. Okay, so it's time for the panel. Wait. Molly sees this guy that she used to, the old fling named, I think it's Omari. And he's recently divorced, and everybody trying to put their bid in, like, yeah, he's recently divorced. Like, here's Molly, like, go ahead, talk to her. And I'm like, is Molly, are we this thirsty to hop back in? I don't think that we should be. I don't think that we should be. We should not be. Molly, do your thing. You can see that she's still in therapy. She's saying a couple of things that the doctor has said. Let's keep doing that. Let's keep doing that. Okay? Let's keep doing that. All right. Let me see. We get to see Mirror Chick, and Mirror Chick is a blast from the past. Did I even talk about the panel yet? Oh, okay. Mirror Chick is a blast from the past. She got braces. She got the black twist instead of the brown hair that Issa has. And it was real funny. First of all, the cinematography of the show, I just love. Like, Issa's skin just looks so pretty on screen. Her little moles, I got the little molies too. Oh, you can't see them with this urban. Oh, yeah, you can see them a little bit. She's talking to her and she's kind of catching her up on where she is now. And that's the thing that we kind of do in our 30s, right? I just turned 32. And this is so funny because in your Lord, in young adulthood, you're always like comparing, or you're always thinking like, have I arrived? What should I be doing? Like, am I doing what I want? Am I stuck? Do I have control? How do I get control? Like all of that, right? And so even me now in my 30s, I'm like not trying to be stagnant, did a lot to get to where I'm at, but also understanding, is this where I'm trying to be? Just got my master's, not doing what I got my master's for. It's just like, you just be trying to figure out like, where am I supposed to be? How am I supposed to be doing these things? And it's nothing compared to what you thought you were going to be doing 10 years ago. Not usually ever anyone, right? And so she's just having that conversation with herself, and it does bring about perspective and reflection. And I think that was a running theme in the show, just self-reflection and then repairing relationships were two strong themes in this show. Let me see. So Issa's on the panel. It's the day of the panel, and her answers are very like simplistic, very just raw, gritty. Like they're not very cleaned up or sweet or nice. Like she's like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be. I could wake up tomorrow and not even want to do this and feel like I wasted all my time. Like I did this because this is something that I wanted to do, but is it what I should be doing? I don't know. And everybody else is so sure about their answers, so sure about their walk, so sure about their things. And Issa being her normal, awkward self, but also laced in that, you can see there's a lot of uncertainty. And I think it's just real. Like, we're so uncertain about so many things because there is no blueprint. There shouldn't be a blueprint, but you feel like there should be a blueprint because we kind of grew up on like, you're supposed to be a good kid, go to high school, graduate high school, go to college, get your degree, get married, have kids, and just work your 9 to 5 with your kids in your marriage, and just that's it. And then you're supposed to get all the things that life has for you, the American dream. Like, that's the way it's supposed to go. But the reality is, there is no one blueprint for everybody. And sometimes you blossom later. Sometimes you have kids later. You get it all together, then you have kids later. Or there's just a lot of different things that we don't consider because we've seen like one or two blueprints throughout life. And so now it's like you're reaching and grasping and trying to compare to something. And there's not too many things you can compare to when you're an entrepreneur or when you're trying to do something where there's no roadmap. Don't get me started. So Issa's kind of realizing that within her answers. Molly can kind of feel her and see her. And you kind of see them like going through this thing where they're trying to figure out, are they as good as they were? They're not as bad as they were when season 4 ended, but also they're not as good as they were when season 1 started. So it's like, how do we get back to that? Should we get back to that? Like, like everything is awkward. And so, afterwards, Issa's kind of beating herself up about it, but she's also not being too forward about what happened. Molly catches up on the nonverbals. And when I almost said Amanda, when Tiffany invites her out, she's like, I'm gonna just chill with Issa. Like, we're gonna take a walk, we're gonna get some food, we're gonna get some drinks or whatever. And we kind of see them like go down memory lane and see like how they met. They talk about that. They walk in this campus in heels, unrealistic. Okay. They're talking about that. And you just kind of start to see them like slowly like getting back to each other. At first, though, Molly starts talking about Amari. And she's all into this whole thing about self and getting back with him. Should I do it? What do you think? And I just was like, girl, don't do this, girl. Don't do this. You seen that Issa had this like messed up thing go on. Like, she didn't do as well as she thought she was gonna do. She's realizing some things about herself, and she's kind of slowly saying that. But you can even see in her body language. And Molly still used the opportunity to talk about herself. I'm just like, girl, now's not the time. We don't need to talk about Amari right now. You just wasn't even thinking about him yesterday. That's what you said. We came here knowing that I was going to do the panel, and I did like how she was super supportive of her in the beginning. Like, girl, you're gonna kill this panel. But then it's like, let's not talk about him. And she catches herself. She reels it back in. She's kind of like pacing herself in and watching, Issa take her time, bringing up the topic. She talks to her about it. She ushers that in. She's like, I wish I could be more like you. You were super confident up there. You were super just real. And we needed to hear it. And I think when you feel like you haven't done that well, you need to hear that sometimes. Just reassurance, even like, even when the reassurance, it doesn't make you feel all the way better, it just helps to hear it. And I'm glad that Molly's like making an effort to be a friend. It's so important to make the effort to just be a friend. I always talk about just being a good person, essentially just being a good person at the root, at your core. And I know that it can be hard when you've been done wrong, when people have wronged you, when things have happened in your life for you to doubt that there are still good people. But I just believe that at the very core, like, you should just be a good person. And so, why did I say that? Why did I say that? Why did I say that? I think when we're thinking about Issa and Molly, it's like Molly's realizing like, I don't need to think too much about this. Issa's telling her like, that's the old you that I like, when you used to just go with the flow. Like, you overanalyze everything. You just don't have to do that. So I kind of like that they didn't dive back into all the woods of everything and all the water of what got them to where they are right now. And in the end, they decide like, okay, we just want to move forward. And you can tell like they're saying that about life, but they're also saying that about their relationship, their friendship. But we didn't have to get into the specifics of everything. We just both understood like where we need to go. We both have this want and this need, so we're gonna do it. But a part of me still wanted Molly to just say that she was sorry because Molly was wrong. A small part of me wanted that because y'all know she was wrong last season. And I just had to let that out. Okay. So they decided to go out. They're going out with Cheyenne. And in this moment in the car, like, they cracking on Kelly, and Kelly don't seem like she like it. But they not taking the nonverbals. And I'm just like, them nonverbals be so powerful. Listen, as a teacher, when your kid is acting up, all I gotta do is, and listen, they get it every time. They get it every time. Okay. So so yeah, so Kelly's up there, she's saying these different things. Nobody's really picking up on it. And I'm like, and Tiffany's kind of like more chill, like she's not really saying too much. She's just still very bougie, still very AKA. That was a stereotype. But she is still very just Tiffany, okay? Um, Let me see. This is when they get robbed. They go to the liquor store because Cheyenne's like, oh, y'all want to sneak liquor in like we used to? And I'm just like, Cheyenne is a lot. I don't know. I mean, being a grown up now, I don't think that I could go back and hang with those type of friends that I had at that time, because I just be feeling like I got too much to lose. Like, it's different when you're younger, like you flying by the seat of your pants, you're real adventurous. Like, You ain't got nothing for real, so you ain't got to really worry about getting robbed because what they gonna take your library card and your Cash App card that ain't got much up on it anyway. Like, versus now it's like Molly's a lawyer. She actually got on like name brand shoes, and he didn't want Issa's shoes, but he's trying to rob her. And Cheyenne is like freaking out. He ends up saying her name. Like, I'm just like, y'all really playing like this, like with a gun? I'm sorry. I would have had to call the police. My good grown self, I would have had to call the police. Okay, I had to call the police. But this moment sparks the togetherness again because they get back in the car and they are laughing so hard because Kelly and Tiffany are like, "Where y'all shoes? Like, where the alcohol? What's going on?" And they just bust out laughing, and it's just like sometimes you just need that moment to just recenter and get back refocused. Like, you don't have to think about everything. You don't have to be so robotic about everything. Like, just let it flow. Just let it be authentic. And that's what Kelly was saying earlier. And that's what ends up happening. So I think we were able to get some closure with Molly and Issa. We know that this show is more about friendships than it is the relationships. So when I seen Lawrence and Issa break up, I was like, I don't know, y'all. Part of me was hoping that Condola would have gotten an abortion. I know. But a part of me was hoping that, but she did not. Well, from what I could tell, she did not. Issa does end up breaking up with Lawrence, and I thought the awkwardness was gonna be because they had fallen into that same comfortability thing, and maybe he wasn't doing nothing no more. But it wasn't that. It was that she's been thinking about her life and the things that she has control over. The things that you have control over. What can you do to get them in the left side or the right side? The gray area just really. But I'm a Scorpio and the gray area just really irks me sometimes. Um, and a lot of things belong in the gray area. A lot of things are not just black or white. They exist right up in the middle. Maybe they're a little lighter towards the whiter side, or they're a little darker towards the black side, but they're still not fully like black or white. And so, um, I think Issa was just like, I'm not trying to deal with this baggage. Like, I don't want to be a stepmom. I don't want to constantly be reminded about the break baby. Okay, Gabrielle. I don't want to be thinking like, there's just things that I just don't want to do. And I have the power to say I'm not going to do it. There's so many other things floating in the air. Lyft, she don't know where she going to be taking people. And her entrepreneurial endeavors, they're not always definite, right? You're like working with this person, working with that person, you're up, you're down, like you're always on your feet, always trying to figure out where the next buck is going to come from, where the next gig is going to come from. And so a lot of that is not in your power because it depends on the public, on the consumer. And then her and Molly, it's still kind of iffy. Like, I mean, but it might be better now. So many things are just like in the air, so many pertinent things that define her and who she is and the work that she's done. And so that's why self-reflection is just so important, because if you don't look back on life to truly understand like the journey and how far you've come, then you won't fully be able to live in the now and understand your purpose for what you're doing now. And I know I'm getting deep, but it's just so real. It's just so real. Um, we see in the end that also that Kelly has a podcast. She's talking to her group, and they're called the Kelly Clan. And her question is, if you knew the end was coming, how would you make the most of your time left? I want to ask y'all that question. I want you to respond in the comments. If I knew the end was coming, how would I make the most of my time left? I think that I'm gonna give myself a attaboy, because I think I do a good job of making sure I don't carry stuff from one day over to the next. But I think I would spend, and I've been doing a good job of like setting boundaries. But y'all see, I haven't been on here as much as I used to, as much as I want to. It is hard to juggle a lot of things. I just think that I would focus more on the things that I want to do even more, like, and figure out how to make them all work. Because I'm still a very like throw myself into my work type of person. And that isn't always healthy. So that's my answer. Um, So y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode, the season premiere of season 5, episode 1 of Insecure. I'm Cameron. This is Cameron Music TV. All two of y'all, thank you for joining me on live. I don't know if you're still rocking with me, Trey. If I miss anything, let me know. But I'm about to get on up off of here because I am going back to work tomorrow. I am, and I need to call my grandpa because he's not feeling well. He's not feeling well. Oh, that's a good question, Trey. She texted me happy birthday. And I believe she's doing well as well. The last time I spoke to her, let me see. I spoke to her like the beginning of the month, and she was saying that she was trying to get back into the flow of things. But like she was working like different shifts than she was before, and it was like during the show. So I don't know. I really pray for New Orleans because it just seemed like they just always going through it. Really, New Orleans, Houston, like all these places that get hurricanes, it just seemed like they always going through it. So yeah, she's good, but she's also like she's just over it. She's telling me she's ready to move, and she's from there. So I know that's hard for her and all her family's there, but she's doing good. I'll have to let her know you asked about her. Well, yeah, I guess that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Cameron. This is Cameron Music TV. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.